ever really apologize for something publicly?
Yeah.
Like, once the whole internet's seen it, can you ever hit reset?
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of wondering about today.
Okay.
So buckle up, everyone, because today's deep dive is messy.
Yeah.
We're talking about a live stream transcript so raw, it makes a boxing match look like totally chill.
Wow. What's fascinating to me is, like you said, it's raw.
Right.
No script, no retakes, just like human interaction. But in the digital age.
It's like holding up a magnifying glass to the internet.
Sure.
And not just any humans. We're talking Dia and Liam.
Right.
These two UK YouTubers who are practically famous for their, well, online feuds. So, yeah, listener discretion is advised.
Right, yeah.
Things get a little spicy.
It's interesting because it goes beyond the online drama. Right? This deep dive is about like when online personas collide with real life.
Okay, I like that.
Public apologies, accusations, this whole feud, it all kind of blends together.
So let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
First up, Dea. This self-proclaimed ex-gangster turned, get this, YouTuber.
Okay.
He even has a podcast.
Does he really?
It's called The Official All or Nothing Podcast.
Wow, that's quite a title.
Right.
And even in the live stream, he's so blunt,
Oh, tell me about it.
like even aggressive, you know?
It's all over the place. He's like, I'm just a normal lad, but then bam, threatening someone.
Exactly.
Or bragging about fights he's been in. It's wild.
And it gets even more complicated
Oh, yeah.
because he's got this criminal record.
Right.
He's got a sexual assault conviction that he talks about, but it just creates more tension.
Which leads us to our other YouTuber, Liam.
Okay.
Also, no stranger to online feuds.
Right.
But in this live stream, you can tell he is walking on eggshells. He's
Yeah.
trying to clear his name, but you can just tell this could blow up at any second.
He's in a tough spot.
For sure.
He wants to talk, set things straight, but you can tell he's thinking, is this a game to Dea?
Totally. Like, is this whole thing some kind of setup? And that's what makes this whole thing so captivating. It's this back and forth, this like controversy vortex. Liam's trying to get Dea to own up to stuff. And Dea, well, he's basically a master of deflection.
It's more than just deflecting, though, right?
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
playing the victim, personal attacks, even just like changing the subject completely.
Oh, and it gets weird, like really weird. So picture this. Liam's trying to have a serious conversation. And Dea just comes out of nowhere talking about how he has, and I quote, harder shits than Liam. I know.
Wow, that's...
It's bizarre.
It is.
But it works. It shuts Liam down completely.
It's like he controls the whole conversation, even if it's with like cringy humor.
And it's that control that makes you question, like, his whole reformed thing, you know? He's calling out other YouTubers for being fake, but then he's doing the same thing.
It's like he wants to have it both ways.
Yeah.
He says he's changed, even apologizes for things, but then uses his past to shut down any conversation that's uncomfortable.
And don't even get me started on that sexual assault conviction. He talks about it so casually, like it's no big deal.
It's so uncomfortable to listen to. Like, he uses phrases like slapped her ass or propositioned her for sex.
I know.
As if it's nothing.
It's really disturbing. And then when Liam tries to say something about it,
What happens?
the live stream glitches out, cuts him off completely.
Oh, come on.
Talk about suspicious timing.
Right. It makes you wonder, was that real or was that Dea controlling things again?
Exactly. It's like, where does Dia's online persona end and the real him begin?
It all gets so blurry.
It does. And that's where things get really interesting and honestly, a little scary. It's crazy, right? Like, we build these online personas, these versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
But then what happens when that image doesn't match up with reality?
And with Dea, it's like he's constantly trying to balance things out. He wants to be the reformed tough guy, the guy making documentaries about knife crime.
Right.
But then his actions don't always line up.
It's like he wants to have it both ways, you know?
Exactly.
He'll admit to his past, even apologize for some of it,
Right.
but then he uses that same past to shut down anything that makes him uncomfortable.
And that's where the whole harder shits thing comes in.
Yeah.
As ridiculous as it sounds,
Oh, totally.
it's not just about being shocking.
Yeah.
It's about him showing he's in control.
Like, this is my show. We're talking about what I want to talk about.
Exactly.
Which again makes you wonder about the reformed thing.
Right.
He's out here calling everyone else fake, but he's doing the same thing.
It's a pattern you see everywhere, not just online.
Oh, for sure.
People trying to run from their past, but ending up making the same mistakes.
It's like he's using his past as a shield, but also as a weapon.
100%.
He can say he's being transparent by bringing it up,
Yeah.
but if you question his version of events, boom, You're attacking him.
It's a way to shut down the conversation, avoid taking responsibility.
Like when Liam tries to ask about when Dea found out about his past,
Yeah.
Dea just attacks him, saying he's stirring up drama.
Classic deflection.
And then when Liam tries to actually talk about the assault, Dea downplays the whole thing, uses like the most insensitive language.
It's hard to listen to.
It is. And it's not even the first time he's been aggressive like this.
What do you mean?
Remember how he talked about those fights he was in? Or when he threatened that other YouTuber? There's just this constant aggression, like he needs to be in control.
And that's what's so unsettling about this whole thing.
Totally.
It reminds us that what we see online, these personas,
Right.
they don't erase what happens in real life.
And sometimes it feels like those online personas are just a way to hide from it.
Exactly.
To hide from who you really are, what you've done.
It makes you wonder how often this happens, you know?
Oh, yeah.
How often do we buy into someone's online persona without really seeing the person behind it?
It's a good question. And it makes you think about Liam, too.
Right.
He came into this wanting to clear the air, have a real conversation.
Yeah.
And instead, he's walking on eggshells, trying not to set Dea off.
It's because Dea has all the power in this situation.
Right.
He's the one with the platform, the audience.
It's like he enjoys the conflict, the drama of it all.
And as messed up as it sounds, that's what makes it so hard to look away.
Like a car crash. You know it's bad, but you can't help but watch.
Exactly. But it's easy to forget that there are real people involved here.
Totally.
Real lives being affected.
This isn't just some show. The stakes are real for Liam. It's easy to forget, you know, that there's like a real person on the other side of the screen.
It is. It's easy to get caught up in the online world and forget that these are real people with real lives being impacted.
And Liam's a perfect example of that.
He is. Just because it's online doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
Exactly. And it makes you think about who has the power in these situations.
Right. Like, who's controlling the narrative?
Dea, with his platform and this whole persona he's built up. Right. Liam's just trying to defend himself and salvage what's left of his reputation.
It's tough. Online visibility is a double-edged sword. You know, it's great to have a voice, connect with people.
For sure.
But it also makes you vulnerable. One minute you're just talking.
Right.
And the next you've got thousands of people judging you.
It's a lot to handle, for sure. And it's like, who can you even trust online anymore? Everyone's got these carefully crafted personas.
It's true. You have to remind yourself that there's a real person behind those posts.
It's so easy to get wrapped up in the drama of it all.
It is. It's like that saying, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Yeah.
You've got to be skeptical.
So what's the takeaway from all of this?
For me, it's about being aware. Aware of how these platforms work, how the lines between online and real life are blurred, and our role in it all. Like, we're not just bystanders.
Exactly. We can't just passively watch this stuff. We have to think critically, you know? Question what we're seeing. Remember, there are real consequences to all of this.
Well said. This deep dive, it wasn't just about Dea and Liam.
Totally.
It was about us, too. How we interact with the online world.
Because it does affect us, whether we realize it or not.
It does.
This was a lot.
It was.
Yeah.
A lot to think about, for sure. But that's what a good deep dive does.
Exactly. Leaves you with more questions than answers.
And hopefully a new perspective on things.
For sure. So to everyone listening, next time you're watching a video about some online feud, remember this conversation.
Remember the people behind the screens.
Yeah.
The power dynamics.
Mm.
And most importantly, your role in it all.
And on that note, it's time to wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us on this wild ride through the underbelly of UK YouTube.
Until next time.
Happy diving.